The world feels heavy tonight, heavier than usual. There is an unseen weight pressing upon the hearts of many, a stillness in the air that is both unsettling and sacred. Somewhere between the fading light of the day and the deep darkness of the night, a voice begins to stir, not a voice of flesh and bone, but a voice of divine clarity. It is a voice that speaks without sound, a presence that comes without form, yet it carries a power so immense that it stirs the very soul. This is the voice of Archangel Michael, the great protector, the defender of light, and the one who carries God's most urgent messages to those who listen. Tonight, his message is clear, direct, and unavoidable. Before the night ends, your prayers will be answered. These words are not a promise that comes lightly. They are a call that pierces the heart, demanding attention, stirring the soul to awaken. In the quiet moments before dawn, when the world is suspended between dreams and reality, Archangel Michael speaks to those who have prayed in earnest, those whose hearts ache with longing, those whose faith is fragile but alive. He speaks to those who have endured storms without knowing if they would survive, to those who have fallen into the shadows of despair, to those who feel unseen and unheard. His voice carries urgency because the night itself is a threshold, a time of transformation, a moment when divine alignment is possible, when heaven leans closer to earth. To understand the weight of this message, you must understand what night truly represents. Night is more than darkness. It is the womb of possibility, the silence in which the soul grows, the space in which transformation begins. But night is also a trial, a test of faith. When all is quiet, doubts rise. When the world sleeps, the mind awakens to its fears. It is in this sacred tension that Archangel Michael's message becomes an urgent invitation. He is not merely offering hope, he is calling for preparation, awakening, and faith. The urgency in his words, "before the night ends," is not simply about hours or minutes. It is a call to recognize the season in which you stand. In divine timing, a night can be longer for some, shorter for others. The night could mean a literal night, or it could mean the darkness of your soul, the struggle of your heart, or the uncertainty of your path. For each person hearing this now, before the night ends, carries a personal weight. It is the closing of a chapter, the arrival of an answer, the opening of a door that was locked for far too long. Archangel Michael does not come with gentle whispers tonight. His presence comes as a clarion call, a trumpet of truth echoing through the corridors of your spirit. He is the guardian who stands before the throne of God, entrusted with the mission to protect those who seek the light. His sword is not forged in violence, but in divine justice and the power of truth. Tonight, he brings both protection and a warning. The warning is simple yet profound. The time for hesitation is over. The moment of prayer must now meet the moment of answered grace. Many of you have been waiting, praying for healing, for clarity, for deliverance. Some of you have cried silently in the dark, asking for mercy, strength, or breakthrough. And yet, there is a delay that has tested you. This delay has been a refining fire. It has stripped away illusions, dissolved distractions, and prepared your spirit for this very hour. Archangel Michael wants you to know that what you have been waiting for is not lost. It is coming, and it will come before the night ends. But you must stand in readiness. Readiness is not simply waiting, readiness is faith in action. It is a surrender of control to the divine will. It is the quiet knowing that even in the silence, your prayers are heard. Archangel Michael calls for you to center yourself in this moment, to let go of fear, to release the doubt that binds your heart, to stand tall in trust. For the answer that comes before the night ends will not come as a whisper, it will come as a flood. It will come in a way that moves the mountains of your life, reshapes your reality, and aligns your soul with God's perfect plan. Do not mistake this for a passive promise. There is work to be done. There is preparation of heart and mind that must take place. Archangel Michael calls you to enter into a place of prayer deeper than you have ever known. He calls you to speak with sincerity, to pour forth your heart without hesitation, to open your soul in raw vulnerability. He says that when your prayer emerges from a place of total surrender, it becomes a vessel for divine power, a vessel that will be filled before the night ends. The enemy of your soul will whisper doubt to keep you in delay. You may hear thoughts that question whether your prayer will be answered, whether you are worthy of receiving God's grace. These are not signs that you have failed, but signs that you are at the threshold of your miracle. Archangel Michael stands before you, sword in hand, urging you to silence the voice of doubt and rise into faith. Faith is not blind, it is seeing through the veil of fear into the truth that God is faithful, even when the answer seems distant. And so, in the stillness of this night, Archangel Michael calls you to rise. Rise with a heart that believes, a spirit that trusts, and a soul that knows that prayer is not wasted. He says, before the night ends, the heavens will shift on your behalf. Before the night ends, what has been locked in delay will be unlocked. Before the night ends, the burdens that weigh you down will be lifted. These are not simply words. They are a promise from the warrior of God himself, a promise that carries the weight of divine authority. But with this promise comes a deeper calling. Archangel Michael does not only offer deliverance, he offers transformation. The answer to your prayer will not merely change your circumstances, it will change your heart. It will awaken a part of you that has been asleep. It will remind you that your prayers are not petitions sent into the void but declarations that align your spirit with God's will. You are not simply receiving an answer, you are stepping into a new reality that has been prepared for you since the foundation of the world. Tonight, Archangel Michael asks you to stand in the light of this truth. Let your prayer be more than words. Let it be a declaration of faith. Let it be a surrender of your will to the divine plan. For in this sacred act, the night begins to break, and the answer comes. The sword of Michael does not merely cut away fear, it opens a path for miracles. And so, listen deeply to his voice tonight. Listen in the quiet, in the stillness, in the space between breaths. You may not hear him with your ears, but your soul will recognize his message. It is the message that before this night ends, your prayer will be answered. That you are not alone. That you are deeply loved. That your faith will be rewarded in ways beyond your imagining. And when the night ends, you will know. You will stand in a dawn that carries a new beginning. A dawn where the burdens are lifted, where fear has no place, where your heart sings in a way it has never sung before. Archangel Michael will stand with you at that dawn, his sword sheathed, his wings at rest, his mission complete. This is the urgent message of tonight. It is not merely for you, it is for everyone who hears this call. Archangel Michael stands ready to deliver it to all who will listen. And as you carry this message in your heart, remember, your prayers matter. Your voice matters. Your faith matters. And before the night ends, your prayers will be answered. So rise now. Stand in readiness. Speak your prayer with faith. Let the words of Archangel Michael echo in your soul until they become your truth. Before the night ends, your prayers will be answered. And in this moment of divine urgency, let us walk forward together knowing that the night is not the end, but the gateway to your answered prayer. Before the night ends, it will be done. If this message has touched your soul, if you believe in the power of prayer, then subscribe to receive more divine messages and share your heart in the comments below. Your voice matters, and your story may be the answer someone else is waiting to hear. The night is deep now, the stillness almost sacred, and in that silence, Archangel Michael's presence becomes heavier, stronger, more tangible. His voice does not come to you in noise, but in a vibration deep within your soul, a resonance that stirs something ancient and holy. It is the sound of certainty speaking to your uncertainty, of divine truth speaking to your fears. Before the night ends, he says again, your prayers will be answered. But tonight, he calls you not just to believe, but to prepare your heart for what is coming. There is a spiritual urgency in his words that cannot be ignored. This urgency is not born of haste but of divine timing. For some, the night has been long, a season of trial that has stretched far beyond what the heart could bear. For others, it has been only a whisper of darkness, a moment of uncertainty. Yet, for every soul who hears his voice tonight, the message is the same: your moment is here. The time for waiting is ending, and the time for receiving is beginning. Archangel Michael speaks of the night as both a challenge and a promise. The night tests the depth of your faith. It strips away comfort and certainty. It strips away distractions so that your soul is forced to stand in its own truth. And yet, the night is also the veil before the dawn, the place where transformation begins. Before the night ends, something sacred is about to unfold, a shift that will not merely answer your prayer but change the trajectory of your life forever. This is why Michael comes with such urgency. He is the guardian at the threshold of change, the defender of those chosen to step into a new reality. His sword, shining with divine fire, is a symbol of both protection and truth. It is the power that cuts away the chains that bind you, chains of fear, chains of doubt, chains of disbelief. The night is the battlefield, and your faith is the armor. Michael's message is that before dawn comes, there is a decisive moment where you must stand in faith, and stand strong. There are many who have been praying silently for years, waiting for a breakthrough that has seemed distant or even impossible. You may be one of them. You have placed your trust in prayer, but the answer has not yet come. Perhaps it feels like silence. Perhaps it feels like delay. But Archangel Michael tells you that silence is not absence, it is preparation. Delay is not denial, it is divine refinement. The night is the refining fire of your faith, preparing you for the answer that is coming. Before the night ends, he says, God is aligning forces in your favor. He is shifting the unseen realms so that what you have asked for can manifest in the physical world. The timing of heaven is perfect, but it requires readiness on your part. Readiness comes through faith, through surrender, and through the willingness to meet the answer when it comes. This readiness is not passive, it is active prayer. It is the persistence of the heart, the refusal to let go of belief, even when the world says otherwise. Michael calls for your vigilance in prayer tonight. This is not the time for lukewarm faith. This is the time for fervent, unshakable belief. He asks you to go deeper in prayer than you have ever gone before, not simply asking with your lips, but praying with your whole being. Let your prayer rise from the depths of your soul, and let it become a declaration of trust, even if the night feels endless. For in that prayer, something miraculous begins to happen. The Spirit aligns with divine will, and the heavens begin to respond. But there is also a warning in Michael's words. The night is not just a space of promise, it is a battlefield for your spirit. Forces that would keep you from receiving your breakthrough are active. Fear, doubt, anger, resentment, and despair are all trying to hold you in the darkness. These are not random forces, they are distractions meant to steal your moment. Michael's sword cuts through these forces, but he asks you to stand with him in faith, to refuse the lies that whisper in the dark. Your prayer must be protected with perseverance, your heart armed with trust, your spirit anchored in God's truth. And so, before the night ends, you are called to prepare in 3 ways. First, prepare your heart by letting go of fear. Second, prepare your mind by choosing faith over doubt. And third, prepare your spirit by surrendering your will to God's perfect plan. These preparations are not simple tasks, they are acts of spiritual warfare, acts of surrender, and acts of trust that demand your full devotion. Michael stands ready to lead you, but you must step forward to follow him. This moment, tonight, is a spiritual threshold. It is a place where prayer moves from being a request into becoming a force of divine transformation. Archangel Michael says that before the night ends, heaven's gates will open in a way you have not yet seen. The answer to your prayer will not merely arrive, it will arrive with power, clarity, and certainty. It will be unmistakable, undeniable, and life-changing. But to receive it, you must be awake. You must be alert. You must stand in faith. Michael reminds you that prayer without expectation is incomplete. Faith without readiness is incomplete. You cannot simply speak your prayer and then drift back to sleep. This is the hour to keep watch, to stand in prayer, to believe without wavering. Before the night ends, your readiness will determine the fullness of your answer. The answer that comes before the night ends will not always be what you expect. Sometimes God answers prayer in ways beyond human understanding, through change, through opportunity, through unseen protection, or through transformation of the heart. Michael reminds you that answered prayer is not always about the removal of every challenge, but about the arrival of peace, clarity, and divine purpose. Your prayer will be answered, but it will come in the form that is perfect for your life and your soul's journey. There are moments in life when waiting feels unbearable, when the silence is deafening. But these moments are sacred spaces where your faith is forged. Before the night ends, Michael says, your faith will be tested, and in that test, your answer will be born. Do not rush this process. Do not resist the refining work of the night. The breakthrough is not simply in the answer, it is in the transformation that comes while you wait. He reminds you that your prayers are not lost in the void. Every tear, every word, every cry of your heart is heard in heaven. They are stored in the heart of God, cherished and remembered. And before the night ends, those prayers will be answered in a way that will remind you of the faithfulness of God. The answer will not just be a response, it will be a revelation. It will reveal God's power, His love, and His perfect timing. Tonight, Archangel Michael asks you to stand firm. Stand firm in faith. Stand firm in prayer. Stand firm in the knowledge that what you have been asking for is on its way. The night is not the end of your story, it is the threshold to your miracle. Before the night ends, your prayer will not just be answered, it will become the testimony of your faith. This is the moment to believe beyond belief, to hope beyond hope, to trust beyond trust. Michael calls you to stand in the power of that belief. For before the night ends, everything you have prayed for will be set in motion. Heaven will respond, and your life will be forever changed. Remember this, the night is not without purpose. It is the soil in which miracles grow. It is the space where God's promises are prepared. And before the night ends, the miracle that you have been waiting for will break forth. Archangel Michael's message is not just for tonight, it is for every soul who stands in faith. So stand now, pray now, believe now. Let Michael's words become the anchor of your spirit. Before the night ends, your prayers will be answered. And when that dawn comes, you will look back and see that the night was never your enemy, it was the place where God's answer was born. Before the night ends, your prayer will rise. The night deepens further, folding the world into a stillness that feels sacred, a silence that feels pregnant with possibility. In this quiet, Archangel Michael's presence becomes even more palpable, like the vibration of a chord struck within the depths of your soul, a sound you do not hear with your ears but feel with your spirit. His voice rises gently yet with an undeniable authority. Before the night ends, your prayers will be answered, he repeats. And tonight, his words are not simply a promise, they are a summons. This is a summons to awaken. To awaken not just to the promise, but to the reality of divine transformation that is coming. The night, he says, is the great proving ground of the soul. It is where faith is tested, refined, and strengthened. For in darkness, the soul either turns inward in despair or rises upward in trust. Tonight, Archangel Michael calls you to rise. Not with fear, but with faith. Not with hesitation, but with expectancy. There is something sacred in the darkness. It is the stillness before the dawn, the womb of transformation where new life is conceived. Before the night ends, something holy is forming within you, a shift in your spirit, a stirring in your heart, a turning of the heavens. This is why Michael's words carry such urgency. The night will not last forever. The hour of your breakthrough is near, and you must not miss it. Many of you have been praying for years. Some have prayed for healing, others for restoration, some for freedom, and others for peace. And yet, you have wondered, Why is the answer delayed? Why does it seem as though your prayers fall into silence? Michael says this delay is not denial. It is preparation. It is the shaping of your faith, the training of your heart, and the clearing of the way for the miracle to come. Before the night ends, Michael says, God is aligning forces unseen to answer your prayer. These are not random shifts, they are the work of heaven itself, a divine orchestration beyond human sight. The answer to your prayer is not only coming, it has already begun to move in the unseen. Your part is to stand in readiness, to keep your heart open, and to remain steadfast in prayer. Michael speaks now of the heart of readiness. It is not enough to speak words of prayer. Readiness is a posture of the heart. It is a state of surrender. It is the letting go of control and the choosing of trust. It is faith made alive by action. Before the night ends, he says, you must prepare your heart to receive. This preparation is both quiet and powerful. It comes through persistence in prayer, stillness in the spirit, and surrender before God. He warns of the enemy who will seek to distract you at this hour. Doubt will whisper, fear will rise, and old wounds will speak to your mind. These are not signs of weakness, they are signs that you are on the verge of breakthrough. Michael's sword of truth cuts through these distractions, but you must stand in faith for it to work. You must silence the voice of doubt and cling to the promise. For before the night ends, the victory is yours if you stand unwavering. The night is not a time of inactivity. It is a time of preparation, of spiritual battle, of aligning your soul with heaven's will. Michael calls you to rise and to stand guard over your heart in this season. Do not let fear take root. Do not let discouragement define your moment. This is your hour of prayer, your hour of readiness, your hour of divine encounter. Before the night ends, your prayer will be answered, Michael says, not only because God hears you, but because God is faithful to act in His perfect timing. He reminds you that your worth is not measured by how long you have waited, but by your willingness to trust when the answer seems delayed. Faith is not passive, it is active trust, even in the face of uncertainty. Before the night ends, Michael calls you to trust beyond what your eyes can see. He speaks now of the way answered prayer transforms the soul. It is not simply the fulfillment of a request, it is a refining, a reorientation of your life toward the divine. Before the night ends, you will see that your prayer was not only about the answer, it was about who you were becoming in the waiting. This is the deeper purpose of prayer, to prepare you for the reality of God's presence and power. There is a divine rhythm to prayer and answered prayer. Michael says that the night is a season for cultivating intimacy with God. It is a time when the soul draws nearer to the divine. And before the night ends, this intimacy will bring clarity. It will bring peace. It will bring a vision of the answer you have been seeking. But to reach that place, you must hold fast to your prayer until the night itself begins to break. This is why Michael calls for persistence. Prayer is not a single moment, it is a process. It is a journey of the heart that requires endurance. Before the night ends, he says, the process of prayer must become a fire within you, burning away doubt, fear, and weariness. Let prayer become your anchor. Let prayer become your armor. Let prayer become the song of your soul. He reminds you that prayer is not lost. Every word you have spoken, every tear you have shed, every cry of your heart is treasured in heaven. Before the night ends, these prayers will rise as incense before God's throne. And the answer that comes will carry the weight of eternity. Michael's message tonight is not just about your prayer, it is about transformation. Before the night ends, the answer will not simply change your circumstances, it will change you. You will emerge from this season different, stronger, closer to God, and filled with a peace that passes understanding. This is the miracle that comes with answered prayer. The enemy will try to blind you to this truth. He will whisper lies that the night will never end, that your prayers are in vain, that God has forgotten you. Michael calls you to silence those lies. Before the night ends, you must rise in faith and speak truth over your life. Speak that truth into your heart, into your circumstances, and into the heavens. Declare with conviction, I believe. My prayer will be answered. The night will end. There is power in such declarations. They awaken the spirit. They align your soul with God's will. They prepare you to receive the answer that is already on its way. Michael says that before the night ends, these declarations will become the key that opens the door to your miracle. Stand now in the truth of this moment. Stand in prayer. Stand in faith. Stand in readiness. For before the night ends, your prayer will not only be answered, it will become a testimony. A testimony of God's faithfulness, of your endurance, and of the power of prayer. Michael's voice grows stronger now, filled with urgency and love. Do not delay. Do not hesitate. Rise in faith. Speak your prayer. Prepare your heart. For before the night ends, the heavens will move on your behalf. The answer will come. The breakthrough will happen. The chains will be broken. The blessing will be released. He speaks of the dawn that follows the night. This dawn will not only be a change in light, it will be a change in your life. Before the night ends, you will step into that dawn, carrying the evidence of answered prayer in your heart. It will be a dawn of hope restored, dreams renewed, and faith strengthened. Before the night ends, your prayer will rise. Michael calls you to stand in that truth tonight. Not in fear, not in doubt, but in unwavering faith. The night is not the end, it is the place where God prepares the miracle that will change everything. And before the night ends, you will know that your prayers have not been in vain. This is the heart of Michael's urgent message. It is a call to faith, a call to readiness, and a call to transformation. Before the night ends, your prayer will be answered not simply in word, but in power. Not simply in hope, but in reality. So rise now. Speak your prayer. Stand in faith. Let Michael's words echo in your soul. Before the night ends, your prayers will be answered. And when the light breaks, you will stand in the glory of a new dawn, knowing that the night was never your enemy, but the place where your miracle was born. Before the night ends, it will be done. The night has grown still now, a profound silence resting over the earth. In this silence, you feel it, the sacred weight of what has been spoken, the truth that is unfolding within your heart. Archangel Michael's presence remains with you, a steady flame of light in the darkness. His words have been a call to faith, a summons to readiness, a warning and a promise all at once. Before the night ends, your prayers will be answered. This is no ordinary moment. This is a holy hour. The stillness you feel is not absence, it is the space where heaven bends toward earth, where your prayer meets divine purpose. Michael's voice speaks now with deeper urgency, as though reminding you that this moment is your moment, the hour of your answer. Before the night ends, he says again, do not turn away. Do not close your heart. Stand in faith, for the answer is near. There is a mystery in answered prayer. Michael explains a mystery that cannot be hurried, but cannot be missed. The night is the place of preparation, and the dawn is the unveiling of what has been prepared. Your prayer has moved through unseen realms, and before the night ends, heaven will release it. The answer will not be a distant echo, it will be a living reality. It will come with clarity and power. But Michael reminds you that receiving your answer is not simply a matter of waiting, it is a matter of readiness. The night is not a passive season. It is an active call to awaken your spirit, to stand guard over your heart, to speak your faith into being. Before the night ends, he says, your readiness will determine the fullness of your answer. This readiness comes through prayer, through surrender, and through unwavering trust in God's timing. He speaks now of the heart of surrender, the quiet knowing that even in silence, God is at work. Surrender is not weakness, it is strength. It is not giving up, it is letting go into the arms of divine providence. Before the night ends, Michael says, you must surrender your fears, your doubts, your control. You must surrender into trust. For when you surrender, you open the door wide for God's answer to enter. There is a season for everything, and the night is a sacred season. It is the time when your faith is purified, when your soul is tested, when your spirit is strengthened. Michael says that before the night ends, you will see that your prayers were never in vain. Every tear, every whispered cry, every moment of faith has been gathered and stored in heaven. And now, the time of their fulfillment is at hand. Before the night ends, your answer will not simply come, it will come in a way that transforms you. It will change not only your circumstances, but your perspective, your faith, and your very soul. This is the deeper blessing of answered prayer. It is not simply the granting of your request, but the shaping of your spirit into something greater, holier, more aligned with God's will. Michael reminds you that the enemy will fight against your breakthrough. Fear will rise, doubt will speak, and old wounds will whisper their lies. But you are not alone. The warrior of God stands with you. His sword is drawn, his wings are spread over you in protection. He says, stand firm. Speak truth. Guard your heart. Before the night ends, you will stand in victory. This victory is not simply the answer to a prayer, it is the birth of a new chapter in your life. It is the beginning of a reality where your faith is stronger, your hope is deeper, and your soul is anchored in God's truth. Michael says that before the night ends, you will step into this reality with a new heart, a renewed spirit, and a deep knowing that your prayers have been heard. The dawn is coming, the night will end, and with it will come the fullness of God's answer to your prayer. Michael's voice is steady, full of authority and love. Do not give up now. Do not turn back. The night has prepared you. The fire of your faith has refined you. Before the night ends, the heavens will open, and your prayer will be answered. He calls you to stand now, not in fear, not in doubt, but in unwavering faith. Stand with a heart that believes, a spirit that trusts, and a soul that is ready. Before the night ends, this is your call, to rise in faith, to speak your prayer, to hold fast to hope. This is your moment to align your heart with heaven's will, to step into the fullness of what has been promised. Archangel Michael's message tonight is not just a message for you, it is a message for all who hear it. It is a call to believe, to prepare, to stand. It is a call to trust that no matter how long the night has been, the dawn is certain. The answer to your prayer is not distant, it is near. And before the night ends, it will come. Michael speaks now of the dawn that awaits you. This dawn is not only a new day, it is a new reality. Before the night ends, you will step into that reality, carrying in your heart the testimony of answered prayer. You will see with clarity that every trial, every tear, every prayer, was part of God's preparation for this moment. And you will stand in the light of that truth, forever changed. Before the night ends, your prayer will rise. Stand now in that truth. Stand in prayer. Stand in faith. Let your heart declare, I believe. My prayer will be answered. The night will end. Let these words become the anthem of your spirit. Let them be the declaration that carries you through the darkness and into the light. Archangel Michael's final words tonight are both a promise and a charge. Do not turn away. Do not grow weary. Do not lose heart. Before the night ends, the heavens will move. Your prayer will rise. Your breakthrough will come. Stand in faith until the dawn, and you will see that the night was not a time of waiting, but a time of preparation for your miracle. This is the closing of the message, but not the end of your journey. The night will end. The dawn will break, and with it, the fullness of your prayer will be revealed. Michael's sword rests now, his wings enfold you in peace, and his voice lingers in your soul. Before the night ends, it will be done. And so, as the silence deepens and the night holds its final breath before the dawn, remember this: your prayers matter. Your faith matters. Your readiness matters. Before the night ends, your prayers will be answered not simply in word, but in reality. If this message has touched your heart and stirred your spirit, then carry it forward. Speak it aloud. Declare it in your soul. Let it be a beacon for others still waiting. And as you stand in faith, Remember to share your story, subscribe for more messages of hope, and comment your heart below, for your testimony may be the answer someone else is waiting to hear. Before the night ends, it will be done.